This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Happy day before Christmas Eve day, 2 days before Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Happy holidays. I can see from the chat, people are really, talking about family gatherings and where they're going and what they're doing. Big travel day. So thank you for spending time with me on the Mark Thompson Show and here again at the After Party Live. Please click the subscribe button. Working my way toward 2,500 ever so slowly. So thank you. Let's see. 22 likes and 19 waiting. The numbers almost make sense. Well, happy Festivus for the rest of us. Absolutely. Hi, everyone. I see you. Rhonda might be making some creamy potato soup. I'm down for that. That sounds delicious. Yeah. Ren says making treats and buying last minute Hanukkah gifts while I listen. See? I love the holiday merrymaking going on in the background of this show. And because we're starting so late, I do want to get to the first story, which is the funkiest thing. Can you even imagine? Did you see this picture? Check out this live tree topper. This happened. This owl flew through someone's chimney just like Santa, and I'm not even making it up, into the house and found something familiar. Oh, a tree looks all right to me, and hopped right on top. This happened in Virginia. I seem to remember last year a story about a baby owl in a tree in Virginia. So this is something that happens in Virginia, apparently. This is a barred owl. The Animal Welfare League of Arlington, Virginia posted a couple of photos of this bird on Facebook. They say he decided to play, or she, a Santa drop-in through the chimney of this home, and then declared himself the newest star on top of their Christmas tree. If you look closely, you'll see that he knocked the old star over to make room for himself. Well, I mean, who wouldn't? He is a star. The owl was ultimately released, but it's not the first time that an owl decided to rest atop a Christmas tree in recent months. It also happened in Georgia as well. In October, an owl found its way into a mansion in Georgia and found refuge on a tree. Maybe mansions, it's common to have trees in October. I don't, maybe they had a Halloween tree. I don't understand. Maybe it was a fake tree inside the house, or maybe it was one of those that they cut away for the part of the house for a real tree to grow inside. I don't know, but this picture of this owl on top of a Christmas tree is awesome. Look at, he just looks like he belongs there. Apparently, again, caught and released back into the wild of the world. It finally happened. Yeah. I hate to show you a picture of this dirty potty, but the next one is almost worse. It's of the snake that appears to be dead. So we'll go back to the dirty potty. This, we've seen pictures like this of snakes in a toilet where people usually look before they sit down, or they sit down and get up because they realize something is not right. This might be the first one I've heard where the person actually was bitten because of the snake in the potty. Yeah. This happened in Texas. This lady says this was very, very scary. She said, this is something most people just have nightmares about, and it actually happened to her. She sat on her toilet in the middle of the night and felt it. Woke up early in the morning to use the restroom and didn't flip on the lights. I do this often. I think there's a little night light in the bathroom, and I think I'm not paying PG&E any more money. If I can not turn on the light, I won't. Maybe I'll be turning on the lights now. I don't know. Her name is Maria. She lives near Bastrop, Texas. She said she woke up about 2:30 in the morning, or rather 4:30 in the morning. She said it was a rat snake that bit her leg when she sat on it. She said it was a very scary situation. The lights were off. She didn't think anyone would believe her, so she snapped pictures of the snake still coiled underneath the seat. She said, I'm the one that took the pictures because I thought no one would believe me. She thinks the snake got in through a vent on her roof. So she had her husband put a wire on it to avoid a situation like this happening again. She said, I just want people to be aware this happens in real life, and you need to be aware that this is the situation. There's a ABC Home and Commercial Services was called out. They say snakes coming up through the toilet is an infrequent occurrence. In 25 years of pest control, he said, I've never dealt directly with it or have anyone that I know of deal with it. It's something that if you do an internet search, you'll find there are occurrences, but I think it's more of an urban legend most of the time, but it does happen. Well, it's not an urban legend. It either happens or it doesn't. One, he said there are multiple ways snakes can end up in your potty. One is through the vent stack up on the roof. They can hold their breath and come through the toilet. They can also come through some kind of sewage system, especially if there may be a break in the lines or rats in the sewer. In some cases, they just make their way into a house traditionally through a crack or crevice, and they're looking for water, and so they curl up in the toilet as well. Okay. Yikes. And she was bitten. It doesn't look like she suffered serious injuries. Yeah, but they got that snake and it's a goner now. In Maui, Hawaii, something kind of cool is happening. There are these rare crows being released back into the world. The forests of Maui, now home to the world's rarest crow, 5 alala'a. So I said it wrong. Alala, alala birds. They're called Hawaiian crows. They were released after having been raised in captivity under the care of the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance. This is in the Hawaiian Islands. So the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance has a satellite office, you could say, at the Keauhou Bird Conservation Center in Volcano and the Maui Bird Conservation Center in Makawao. The alala, they're about the size of a football, so they're big crows. They have matte black feathers and a black beak as well. They are really, really loud. They have these varied calls, 24 different kinds of vocalizations, and they're really smart. Researchers say they have advanced intelligence that's characteristic of crows. They are important island residents because they have this omnivorous diet that helps to disperse seeds throughout the ecosystem. So the resurgence of the alala would be a win for biodiversity and conservationists. So the 5 birds released are 2 females and 3 males. And should they go on to reproduce in their new home, they would have about 1 to 5 greenish blue eggs. That's the alala way. They were once a common sight on the Big Island of Hawaii, but about 100 years ago, they began to face increasing threats from invasive predators, from disease, from the destruction of their habitat. In 1993, the alala conservation breeding program was formally established. And so let's hope this works. The alala are back. The translocation of the alala to Maui, they call a monumental step forward in conserving the species, and it's a testament to the importance of partnership in reversing biodiversity loss. So, Big Island bird that's now on the Big Island and on Maui as well. Welcome to the alala. Do you see this picture? When you think of an egg, you think of an egg shape, right? Not this one. It's a perfectly round egg. Yeah. What happened? It was auctioned off for $250 because of its almost perfectly round shape. This egg was bought from a supermarket, and then it was donated to a British charity, and again, auctioned off for $250. It was originally found in a dozen bought from a grocery store in Scotland and purchased by Lamburn, Berkshire resident Ed Pownell for $187 via auction house Thomson Roddick Callan. Said he bought the egg on impulse after having a few drinks. Oh, that looks cool. He donated the egg to the Luventus Foundation, which is a charity that supports young people in Oxfordshire. And that charity group sold the egg as part of a fundraiser on the website. And they said they had dozens of people bid for items, which raised more than $6,000 for their charity, including this egg, this perfectly round egg. This is a big thing in the UK, this perfectly spherical egg. You don't see that every day. I wonder what happened when the people were packing the eggs. Hey, this one doesn't fit in the little hole properly. Let's just shove it in. Don't worry about it. I wonder if that one hurt the bird coming out. Yikes. I I almost don't want to show you that. There's a couple of pictures of this. Did you see this story about the pit diapers? The pit diapers for the cool senior, right? This is a designed to avoid the lines at music festivals. It's a black pleather accessory with metal studs and chains, and it prevents bathroom breaks from spoiling your concert. The pit diaper. I have another picture, but I'll go back to this one quickly. We'll just do a quick flash of this one. Here's a guy with this pit diaper on. Okay, that's enough. It's interesting. I don't know why you wouldn't just want to go to the restroom, why you would want to sit or mosh in your own filth. But hey, to each their own. Everyone has their thing. This is an adult incontinence diaper designed for concert goers so they don't have to wait in long lines at the venue. It's not cheap either, the pit diaper. It's a limited edition, and it was available for $75 and it sold out. It was sold by an American company called Liquid Death, which is a sparkling water brand known for its unusual heavy metal style images and marketing. And they promoted this thing by saying, if you've been to a concert, you know the scariest place isn't the mosh pit, it's the bathroom. Now you can avoid having to brave that hellscape with the new pit diaper, helping fans relieve themselves in the safety of the mosh pit. Ew. They teamed up with what looks like Depends to produce this black pleather accessory. Most of their items are kind of tongue in cheek, and maybe this was a holiday gag gift. They have other things like misfortune cookies with gruesome predictions inside. They sell a soap designed for psychopaths and a can of drink duct taped to a wall, as opposed to the banana, right? There's a guy, the guy we just flashed the picture of, who wears this diaper in the promotional video. He said he's received a lot of attention on social media. Crotch thrusting in a leather diaper on Chicago local news definitely, he said, wasn't on my 2024 bingo card. Life is ridiculous. So they haven't said Liquid Death whether they're going to restock the pit diaper and sell it again. But yeah, okay, it's sold out. Speaking of a party atmosphere, here's a story about how to make people like you a little bit better. There's a psychology study that is revealing this trick for being more likable in social situations. So maybe you feel awkward at a party, maybe you want to be the belle of the ball, what have you. Many studies have been done on this. This one indicates something so simple and so easy, right? Just show interest in the other person you're talking to. So the study looked at first meet and greets that are a little awkward when you're forced to socialize with colleagues or friends, maybe people you don't know that well. This research done out of Harvard focused on how asking questions and follow-up questions affects your likability. Here's the article. This is the direct quote from IFL Science. Imagine this scenario. You meet a new colleague for the first time at a company party. You strike up a conversation, and the colleague starts telling you a funny story. You're interested and engaged, and you ask several questions that encourage the colleague to elaborate on the details of the story. This is in this from the study. After the story is over, you exchange pleasantries and part ways. Later, you realize that your colleague didn't ask any questions about you, and you didn't have an opportunity to reveal much information about yourself. Who made the better impression? Hmm. You might think the talker with the hilarious story would have left the better impression. Looking into it further, researchers found that might not be the case. So they paired up participants with conversation partners in real life and also online. One partner in the chats was asked to ask a number of questions about the other participant without their knowledge of this part of the experiment. Afterward, they were asked to rate their conversation partner as well as how many questions they thought the other partner had asked. The studies, according to the team, support their hypothesis that people like their partners more when they ask more questions because people who ask more questions are seen as more responsive. In a third experiment, the team looked at old data from a study on speed dating, which they deemed to be an ideal environment due to participants' motivation to make a good first impression. They trained a natural language processing algorithm as a follow up question detector and applied it to the speed dating data. They said the follow up question rate established by the algorithm showed speed daters who asked more follow up questions during their dates were more likely to elicit agreement for a second date from their partners, which is a behavioral indicator of liking. They also find that despite the persistent beneficial effects of asking questions, people do not anticipate that question asking increases interpersonal liking. So, bottom line is first meetings, trying to learn about people, ask a little follow up question. Now, in my house, I'm told I ask too many questions. That my daughter will say, I feel like I'm being interrogated. Okay. maybe I maybe the reporter in me digs a little too much. I come by it honestly. My mom does the same thing, as does my sister. This study was published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. So, a few follow up questions, good. Too many questions, like me, mm, maybe not so much. I don't know. I see. And boy, I'll tell you, it's so needed. This is a really slow month on this show. So, thank you, Trevor Starr. Kim, I think the show could use some nutcrackery. I wondered if anybody would catch that. Lovely. 1010 from Trevor Starr in Hollywood. Again, huge thank you that it's a slow month in December and it's just so needed. So thank you so much for the contribution, Trevor Starr in Hollywood. So appreciate it. Thank you to everyone also who contributes through PayPal here on the After Party Live. You can find the PayPal link in the show description. You can also find it in the About tab as well. Thank you so much to everyone who's contributing to this show and making it possible, including Trevor. So, huge thank you. Okay, let's move on to the next story because I have one about the lotto of the day. Let's do it. This story is about, let's see, I have two lotto stories of the day. This one is about a woman from West Virginia who said that an ad for the state lottery's new mobile app led her to win big. Her name is Angela. She's from Parkersburg, West Virginia, and she's not a frequent player. But she decided that she was going to give it a try when an ad for the new lottery platform, iLottery platform, caught her eye. She said, my dad always played the lottery, but I never liked going to gas stations to buy tickets. When I saw an ad on my phone, I thought, well, why not download it and give it a try? So she used this iPlay app to buy 10 tickets for the December 14th Powerball drawing. One of her tickets ends up matching four numbers and the Powerball earning her $100,000. So here's this lady who never plays the lottery and boom, in she comes with 100 grand. Here's another one. Fives across the board. This lottery story involves this triple number And 7,782 lottery tickets were sold with people picking 555555555. Friday night's pick 3 drawing ended with the numbers 555 being drawn, which meant, again, more than 7,700 tickets were winners. The wins, not so much when so many people win at the same time, right? But they sent out more than 3 million in prizes because of Friday's drawing, because of this triple digit number. The combinations of 3 of the same numbers, known as trips, are some of the most popular sets of numbers played. Whatever 3 numbers you pick, the odds of matching exactly all 3 in a pick 3 drawing are the same, 1 in 1,000. This is why I don't understand statistics. My daughter wants to take AP statistics, and I keep telling her, don't do it. I should really be more encouraging. But I had the worst time with statistics. I'm telling you what. Speaking of having a hard time, did you hear the story that there are many people are getting rid of these black plastic spatulas? The study was done showing that they're poisoning people. All right. Looks like there's a math error in the study. That's embarrassing. It was published in the scientific journal Chemisphere in October. And the study said that there are alarming levels of toxic flame retardants in this black colored plastic household items. And that includes your kitchen utensils. It includes the kitchen toys, and it includes the takeout containers that are black plastic on the bottom. And it was published all over the place, from the Atlantic to the LA Times, everywhere. The story had a headline, "Your cool black kitchenware could be slowly poisoning you." One other headline said, "Your favorite spatula could kill you." Researchers estimated exposure to flame retardants through cooking with a black plastic kitchen utensil, because it's constantly near heat, right? It would approach the Environmental Protection Agency's reference dose. That's a limit on the exposure to a toxin before it's associated with health issues, including cancer. So the study estimated that the contaminated kitchenware could cause a median intake of 34,700 nanograms of this flame retardant toxin. It's more than 80% of the EPA limit of 42,000 per day. Huh, that's pretty close. I would argue this. Any level is too much for me. The problem with this is that somebody found an error. It's the director of the McGill University Office for Science and Society. His name is Joe Schwartz. He says there's a mistake in the study. The EPA limit of this toxin is 7,000 nanograms per kilogram of body weight per day. The researchers had gotten the 42,000 figure by multiplying 7,000 by 60 to represent a 60 kilogram or 132 pound person. But they made a mathematical error. 7,000 times 60 is not 42,000, but 420,000. The supposed exposure is not close to the reference dose, it is 1/10 of it. So there was a correction added to the original study saying, "We regret the error, we've updated it in our manuscript." But of course, all of those salacious headlines, "Your black spatula can kill you," they're already out in the world. So people are like, what? Throw away your black spatula. While the finding of flame retardants in black plastic household items is still concerning, the actual risk, they say, is not worth losing your head over. A small error can cause large worries, he said. For me, according to the man who found the error, this risk would not be enough to discard a black plastic kitchen item if I had one, and neither would I like the prospect of it going into the landfill. That being said, there should be no flame retardants in such items. 100% agree. I don't want it in my kitchen. Hopefully, you don't have it in yours, but the study was wrong. Oopsies. How about this for a story? Look at those cars. You see the weird lights on the back? These are some sci-fi looking Hondas is what's happening. Look at that. So weird. The Honda is making artificial intelligence a little bit uh, more accessible, it looks like. They've unveiled a series of AI devices and transport concepts at this year's Tokyo Motor Show, including a sports car that communicates with its driver and a robot that can turn into an impromptu cafe. Honda says their aim is to focus efforts on electric and autonomous technologies. So here's the sports car, one of them anyway. The sports car's EV, it's called the Sports EV. It incorporates both electric and artificial intelligence technologies. It has a friendly model. It takes its design cues from Honda's earlier urban EV concept. It aims to create communication between the driver and between the car as well. It's interesting looking. And this is not all. Check this thing out. What is that? Hello, Moto. This is called RoboCast, and it has a little canopy and storage spaces, and it's supposed to be adaptive to different uses. RoboCast is the communication robot of the future, according to Honda. The electric mobility product has a compact body, complete with the driving function and optional canopy, in case it's rainy or sunny, right? Storage space for different uses. Its use is limited only by the imagination, open in an impromptu cafe during the weekend, or a soup cafe, or a curry shop. Huh, I don't understand, but okay. And again, not all. Then there's this guy. This does look like the future is here. Honda's bringing us the future. This is a lawnmower. Yes, it's a lawnmower. It's called the Mimo lawnmower. It's now equipped with AI, allowing it to communicate with you, its user. It's about 4.95 square meters. Honda's iMobi concept is an all-electric vehicle that also functions as a small, oh, this is a different one, a small mobile room as well. Yeah, no, this is the lawnmower that is equipped with AI. How crazy is that? This next one looks like a small little room. I have to tell you, this is the iMobi concept. I don't I don't know how this is different than a regular electric vehicle. I'm not sure. I have this. This is called the Mimo. I don't know. Tell me what you would do in this secret private little room. Look at that. They they say this is so the other one was the self-propelled robotic lawnmower, which is now AI equipped. So the mower will be able to communicate with the user with the vision of it becoming the family pet. Okay. So there's the family pet slash lawnmower. Finally, your pet does something useful besides offer you love. I don't know. So this, by the way, the Honda's Fure, F-U-R-E, Furry Mobi concept comes from the Japanese word furai, meaning interaction, focusing on human-to-human interaction. Okay, but this is the IE Mobi. This is an all-electric vehicle that functions as a little room, if you want. And again, it's about 4.95 square meters, and it's designed to connect your car and your home. It can also supply electricity to your home, as well as the home being able to charge the car. So back and forth it goes. The seats look weird in there. This whole thing is weird. I don't know. They have weird stuff coming out with Honda, but they are embracing the future. So that's what they're doing. Okay, but I do want to get to Hide in Your Cave Monday, but I would love to thank Ren. Merry Christmas, Kim. Thank you for always being here for us, Ren and Cameo. Okay, first of all, Ren, I have to tell you, I didn't know you and Cameo were together. So to find that out at the Mark Thompson Show holiday meetup was cute and a surprise. And you guys had the cutest background. I loved it. And thank you for the $10 super sticker. Again, so needed, so appreciated to keep this show rolling. And I'm just very, very grateful. So thank you so much. You look at what's going on and think, oh, maybe I need to make some changes in the new year. So it's nice to know that you are wanting to keep the show going. And I just really appreciate that. Okay, let's go to Hide in Your Cave Monday. Here it is. There it has. Okay, and I have some caves from Florida today. We're going to Florida. Why not? Uh, let's go take a look at the first one, and it is Florida Caverns State Park. I love when they shine the lights up and it looks all rainbowy and cool in there, right? This is a Florida Caverns State Park just west of Tallahassee, the only air-filled cave to offer cave tours to the public in Florida. There are dramatic stalagmites and stalactites rising and dripping from the ceiling. It looks otherworldly. There are also breathtaking views of limestone bluffs above the Chipola River. Again, the Florida Caverns State Park. Here's another one. This one is called the Devil's Den. It actually looks kind of nice though, right? The Devil's Den is a 60-foot deep prehistoric geological underground spring. Devil's Den, they say, is a must-experience cave diving spot in Florida. It's a cave den with crystal clear waters, ancient rock formations, and fossil beds down below. So that is the Devil's Den. Look how blue that water is. It looks like something out of a prehistoric movie, doesn't it? Really cool. Another underground cave in Florida is called the Blue Grotto. And this is another one of these caves. It's the deepest cavern springs in the state of Florida. The Blue Grotto of Florida is 100 feet of clear water open to divers of all skill levels. They say it's kept in pristine condition. It's a crescent-shaped cavern covered in fossils and aquatic life. Here's what it looks like down below. I would be afraid if I was diving. I don't know, we've talked about the claustrophobic aspect of caves before, but at least if you're up here at the Florida Cavern State Park, you're dealing with, yes, maybe a smaller space, but you can breathe the air. But then go to the Blue Grotto and you add, hey, can't breathe, relying on the safety of my tank. And what if you get stuck in there? What if something falls? You can't get out. This is the stuff of nightmares for me. I'd swim around on the top. I'd splash around at the top of the Devil's Den, but don't ask me to go down there. No, no, no. I don't know if I'm hiding in these caves today, but that is Hide in Your Cave Monday. I know a lot of you have to get going because you have holiday things to do, places to be, people to see, presents to wrap, things to do. You can see my red over here, my red bag right next to my poinsettia. This is my attempt to cover up the Christmas presents so when kids walk into the room, they don't see automatically what they're getting. I don't know if anyone has snuck in and peeked under the red blanket. I can only do what I can do over here. I used to always find the Christmas presents, drove my mom crazy. But I did see Trevor Starr come in with another $10. I'm sorry. Here it is. Can we have Trivia Tuesday tomorrow since the show is dark on Thursday in observance of Mark Thompson's birthday? Are you saying you like Trivia Thursday better than Travel Tuesday? I'll take a vote. I wish I could go. I can't do it by myself, but I would take a poll. So I'll just do an informal audience poll. Would you rather have Trivia Thursday than Travel Tuesday tomorrow? Because if that's the case, I'm happy to put something together. What do we have? Please keep going. Such a late start. Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure. I don't want to keep you guys if you're busy. Yes. Both trivia. Jim wants Travel Tuesday, Travel Thursday. This show follows the Mark Thompson show. So Mark's show is going to be dark on the 25th, 26th and 27th, and so will this show. And so I will be here tomorrow, but not Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I might try to tape something, especially with Tim Sika for movies, because it's going to be a great holiday movie weekend. So we'll see. Trivia and Trivandrum fun. Trivia. I think you want trivia. Okay. Trivia, please. Whichever is easier, says Ren. That's nice. Trivia, says Calvin. Trivia, says okay. I'm getting more trivias than travels. I got a couple travels. Maybe we'll do this. How about we take a quick travel and then we do some trivia? I like the idea of both, right? Maybe we'll mini it up in both situations. Thank you for the ideas. I appreciate it, and we'll make it happen. All right. Teacher Lawyer wants a couple more stories, so I am going to go back and do them because I don't want to leave you high and dry, but I also don't want to keep you too long. It's a conundrum when Mark goes late, so I don't know how to handle it. All right, let's go back to some of these stories. I kind of skipped around a little bit, but let's do this one. I love this picture of the flat Earth. They took a field trip, the flat earthers did. Tried to go to the end of the Earth. They went to Antarctica to test out their theories. What do you think they found? They were trying to end the debate over the shape of the Earth. So off they go to Antarctica. The trip was part of a project called the Final Experiment, organized by this pastor from Colorado. His name is Will Duffy. His effort was to end the debate over the shape of the Earth. So he set up this expedition with 4 flat earthers and 4 globe earthers. They flew to Antarctica to witness the continent's midnight sun. It's one of many things, they say, that prove the Earth is spherical because it can only occur on a tilted rotating sphere where the axial tilt during the summer positions the South Pole to face the sun continuously for 24 hours. It would be impossible on a flat plane like a flat Earth pictured here. It's such a great picture, though, isn't it? Look at the water just dripping off the sides like a giant round waterfall. So flat earthers like to say, the Antarctic Treaty of 1959 prevents civilians from visiting the southernmost continent because they were trying to hide the true shape of planet Earth. But Pastor Duffy wanted to show that this is not the case. So he created the final experiment to end this debate once and for all. He says, after we go to Antarctica, no one has to waste any more time debating the shape of the Earth. Now, this assumes that this experiment isn't an elaborate hoax aimed at tricking the globe earthers. They say most of the flat earthers don't consider this experience definitive proof that the Earth is spherical. They did, though, accept the existence of the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. And that poses a challenge for most of their theories. But sometimes they say you're wrong in life. That one of these well-known flat earthers, his name is Jaron Campanella, says, I thought there was no 24-hour sun. In fact, I was pretty sure of it. I realized that I'll be called a shill just for saying, you know what, you're a shill for being honest, so be it. I honestly believe there was no 24-hour sun. I honestly now believe that there is. That's it, he said. What does it mean? You'll have to figure it out. To me, it means that the AE, the azimuthal equidistant map, no longer works, but that doesn't mean that I'm right. Others were more skeptical about the 24-hour sun, saying it doesn't totally rule out the possibility of a flat Earth. People want to believe what they want to believe, regardless of proof. Come on. If you would like to go to Antarctica to see this for yourself, it costs $31,495. The flights, the staying there, everything else. Crazy. This is wild. So the flat earthers, a little bit humbled by this trip to Antarctica, but it still does not put this whole flat Earth thing to bed. Speaking of the shape of planets and cool things about our universe, a study sent to me by Calvin Wong shows that the moon might be more than 100 million years older than we previously thought. There's new research that challenges the idea that the moon formed for about 4.35 billion years ago, after a Mars sized object smashed into the early Earth. This new study suggests the moon might be a lot older than that, because lunar rock samples from the Apollo missions date to an event that melted the moon's surface, not to the moment that it formed. So the authors think the moon formed about 4.51 billion years ago, more than 100 million years earlier than the commonly accepted estimate. This research, published last Wednesday in the journal Nature, challenges the nature of the idea of the age of the moon. And again, the timeline is based on the analysis of lunar rock samples from NASA's Apollo's mission. The melting and remelting, the melting happened as the moon was moving away from the Earth, according to the study authors, when the planet's constant gravitational tugs warped the moon in a way that caused it to superheat. That process changed the lunar surface and hid the moon's real age. The research done at the Earth and Planetary Sciences Department at the University of California, Santa Cruz. And they say the extreme heating likely remelted the moon's surface, effectively resetting all the clocks on the lunar rocks. So the moon rocks aren't telling us when the moon formed, they're telling us when a later event happened that heated the moon. Interesting. Within the scientific community, there have been some disagreements about the precise age of the moon for a long time. So these new findings add to the growing thought that there may be more to the moon's history than those original Apollo samples revealed. Maybe we're interpreting them in a way that is incorrect. And thank you again to Calvin Wong for that really, really cool story. I really appreciate that. We've talked for a while about AI in education. And this story is one that a charter school is replacing teachers with AI. And you see a grown up there, but they're calling them, instead of teachers, educational guides. They're starting this charter school and saying there's no academic teachers. It's based in Austin, Texas, but they have a bunch of different schools in different states. It's a network, a charter school network offering kindergarten through 12th grade education. It's all AI guided. The model is called 2-hour learning, and it advertises accelerated pace classes done on an app designed to teach students at 2 times the speed of the traditional classroom. So the parents are promised that the system works for 80 to 90% of kids, and that students consistently rank in the 90th percentile. Apart from generating top ranking standardized test takers, one of the 2-hour learning's other goals is the removal of teachers from classrooms. Boo to that, I say. They affiliate charter schools are looking for applicants like high school guide. What you're telling me is you're taking away the designation of teacher, you're advertising for a position of babysitter, and paying the people less when really they'll be doing the work of teachers. They'll be making $50 an hour. They'll help design creative, immersive learning experiences that teach students to leverage cutting-edge AI tools and innovative strategies. You'd be a brand consultant for 50 startups. Huh. I don't know. Outside the classroom, One charter seeks a $100 per hour gifted and talented educational evangelist whose job will be identifying and creating viral worthy content that challenges the status quo around gifted education. The evangelist will have to set quality standards while improving the AI generated content to amplify reach. In order to apply, you have to have 1,000 followers on social media. Wow. It's called the Alpha School. That is the central umbrella in this charter for many of their 2-hour learning charters. They have locations in Texas and Florida. Hmm. Question mark right there. And they plan to expand to other states ahead of the 2025-2026 school year. This month, the Arizona State Board for Charter Schools approved an application for the Alpha affiliated AI-based virtual academy called Unbound. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to shoot down an idea before it has a chance to take off, but yeah, no. Tuition for each school varies by location. At the Unbound Academy, they'll say $40,000 fee covering the upcoming school year. There's another one of these charter schools in, I think, Texas, and they promise to take the top 10% of kids and turn them into the top 1% across all subjects for 25 grand a year. It's a big experiment with your children, taking a chance like that. I don't know. At a time when kids need more interaction with human beings to have the ability to speak to real people, to look in the eyes, to form a real connection, mentor-mentee connection. You want them to look in a screen all day long. I don't like it. I'm turned off by it. In Germany, they have this AI bot teacher, and the German students are reacting to this. I have video. Here it is. Why are we bringing this in education? I don't know.
Teaching students about AI and language models is my goal.
This AI-operated robot taught a class at a school in Germany, says Reuters.
You have exactly 3 minutes to present your initial arguments on why AI leads to more fake news.
Created by Hedoba Research, a robotics company in Hong Kong, the robot, named Capture, led the students through a day of debates and lectures.
Let us examine whether artificial intelligence truly contributes to the spread of false information, or if that is just another human misconception.
So thank you to Reuters and CNN for that report. I don't know. I'm creeped out. I'm totally creeped out by all of this kind of stuff. So maybe I just need to get on the bandwagon and allow my mind to be open to the idea that technology can do better things in classrooms. But I just don't want to let go of my teachers. I don't. No, Liz, yes. No. Absolutely. Ren says kids might pay more attention to a robot than a human, but will they concentrate on content or delivery? Cameo's throwing up in my mouth a little bit. So am I. No, thank you. Yes, human interaction, Liz. We need that. We totally need that. My nephew says Okayus Mama would probably thrive at this kind of school. There are people that, what do they call them? Self-starters that maybe don't need the type of encouragement. I just can't see my son thriving in a school without a human being in the classroom. I just can't. Rev says, when I used to read encyclopedias from beginning to end, I wonder if we can do that with Google. Can I do it remotely? I might apply. Probably could. You obviously have the experience. Why not? Check it out. I'll give you the name of it, Teacher Lori. It is, let's see, here. I'll post the link so you can take a look at it and apply if you want to. At least there be one good teacher behind it all. I don't know. I just like that. I like the connection. I want a teacher. I always feel like when I go to the parent teacher conference, if the teacher really has taken the time to know my child, then I feel better about sending him there every day because he or she knows the way they learn and their weaknesses and strengths. I just can't imagine AI having that kind of human-based knowledge. When you just know a kid. Good teachers always shaped my life, says Rhonda. Absolutely. Ren says there are independent study online schools already. As a matter of fact, Stanford has an amazing online high school. Supposed to be like top rated. It costs a lot of money to attend. Yeah, I don't know. Teacher Lori says, what if it was in a music class? I don't know. I'll say that with my daughter, who's 15, and in jazz band and in orchestra, and in marching band, I would say that the connections she makes in music class, the mentor of her band director and of the folks leading the drum line are hugely important relationships to her that inspire her to want to go to school every day. I don't know that you get that type of inspiration if it's an online personality. Does that make sense? Like, I feel there needs to be humanity behind it. She loves her band director. She doesn't have time for drumline, but she doesn't want to quit it because she doesn't want to disappoint the man who's running bandline, who she says is amazing and putting his heart and soul into this drumline, rather. So I think there needs to be humanity behind it. I really do. Not that you can't learn piano from an online tutorial, but what's the better experience here? Is the better experience Jacob going to piano lessons once a week and sitting down with his piano teacher named Catherine, and they have a relationship together? She knows that he writes music. And so at the concerts, she lets him perform these pieces that he's written, and she encourages him and inspires him. She knows that he learns better by sight. And so she used a Suzuki method with him that maybe she wouldn't use with other students. I just feel like there are things teachers get and do that are different than a one-stop AI shop. But again, I could be not understanding the technology, and I could be completely wrong. Cameo says it's likely to be accepted, so do you shun it or do you go along with it? Tech City, good or bad? That's the question, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know. Right now, Cameo, I'm kind of I'm uncomfortable with it, but my mind, I'm working on having an open mind. That's where I am. Ren says kids frequently divulge things that happen at home. Human teachers keep this confidential. The AI would not. Jim says most students need to be in an actual school. You learn interpersonal skills. Thank you. Which are as important as learning to read and write, etc. You could be the smartest guy in the room, but if you are also the weirdest guy in the room, how much of your knowledge is going to be accepted? I don't know. You need to, again, I agree with Jim. You need to be the total package. Ren says, I'm not saying abuse, but embarrassing stories. Yeah, I mean, that happens. I don't know. I'm more worried about interpersonal connections too. I'm sure the things my son says at school about me, I don't know. Well, with that, we'll conclude the after party live today because I don't want to keep you too long, but I will be here tomorrow. We'll do some traveling, some virtual traveling. We'll do some trivia, and we'll have a little holiday celebration here on the after party together. Trevor, thank you for the 1010 and the nutcrackery comment. And thank you for another 1010 and the idea of the double trivia and travel. I really appreciate that. Great idea. Ren, thank you for the $10. I really appreciate it. Ren and Cameo, thank you for the $10. So appreciate that. Thank you recently to Amy Powell for contributing to the show, James S. for contributing to the show, and of course, Wes as well. All right. And you can, again, find the PayPal link in the show description and everyday show description and in the actual show description here on the After Party Live. But enough about that. You guys go out, make it a really good December 23rd. Thank you for being here. I so appreciate it. One more comment from teacher Lori. Kids learn differently. Some kids would thrive in this, most probably not. What about neurodiverse kids? Yeah, it's not a one size fits all, right? I don't know. Let's think about it a little bit. We'll reconvene tomorrow and share some ideas. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Make it a really good one. Stay warm and cozy. And I'll see you tomorrow on the Mark Thompson Show at 11 a.m. It's David K. Johnston Day, so I'll meet you there. Bye, everybody.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
Merry Christmas, Sandy. Yeah, we'll meet here at 11 a.m. on YouTube. We are live tomorrow, the 24th, and dark the 25th, 26th, and 27th. Oh yeah, Mo Direct. I think Mega Millions is up to 900 and something million, almost $1 billion. It would be a Christmas miracle if one of us won it.